All right, Coach Boone, thanks for taking the time out of your morning to talk to us before practice. So just talk about how the atmosphere is with the team as you prepare to travel out to Oregon.
I think everyone's excited. It's always fun when there's a group going. Last year we just had 2 individuals, and so we have a small group going this year. So it's a little bit more fun at practice because we have a lot more people training and stuff. So.
Yeah, 7 athletes compared to Renaya and Ashera last year. How has it felt for Renaya and Ashera to be heading back there for the second straight season and in their sophomore season at that?
Obviously they're very excited. That was the goal when they left there last year, to come back, but to come back with some more people. So all of those things have happened, but definitely excited. And it's like I said, it's always more fun when you have more of your teammates with you.
So you have Renaya now also competing in the 4x100 meter relay. Obviously, she was just in the hurdles last season. So how would you say her improvement has been as a sprinter to have this opportunity with the relay team?
Well, she's always been a great sprinter. I mean, last year at the conference meet, she did the 100 hurdles, the 100, the 200, and obviously indoor she did the 60 and 60 200 and hurdle combination. So we know she's a sprinter, but because she can do so many things, you don't want to always wear her out and everything. So once she decided not to run the 100 this year, it was kind of like, hey, how about let's do the relay instead? And so that definitely worked out for the benefit of the relay. So I'm glad we were able to make that happen this year.
Yeah, I noticed that some of the athletes could qualify for multiple events, but only Selena Wright did so in the 4x100 relay team, but Selena Wright did so individually. So what went into the decisions of which events the athletes decided to compete in?
Oh, well, just because Selena finished 13th, so she just missed making it.
No, in the prelim, did you?
Oh, in the prelims. Well, all of them actually did qualify for individual events, and so it kind of was a thing where you look at the list and kind of say, hey, what's your best shot to make it to go to Eugene? And so some of the girls were like, hey, I'd rather just go fresh with the relay, and some were like, hey, I'm gonna do one event instead of the 2 events that I qualified in. So maybe they did an individual event and the relay versus where they might have qualified in the 100, 200, and the relay. Instead of doing all 3 of those, we just did 2 of those. So at the end of the day, it's always about what's best for the team and the individual. But if we didn't feel like they had a shot individually to make it, then we put a little more emphasis on the relays.
So you have Brittany Floyd, of course, getting selected for the heptathlon. She transferred here from UAB. What was it like to recruit her over here to UCF, and what has she been like here for this team?
I'll give all the credit to my assistant coach, Glenn Smith. He recruited her and found her and signed her and coached her. So he's done a phenomenal job in developing her and getting her to this point. For the team, it's been awesome. I mean, we haven't had a heptathlete here in a while, and she came in and just basically rewrote all the record books. So it's been awesome to have her, and you love when a kid can come in and make such an impact in a year. She only had a year of eligibility, and she's made a huge difference to our team. So we're thankful that she chose us, and we're glad she's having a spectacular last year.
You talk about Coach Glenn Smith. Of course, he brings back Ashera Collins to Eugene, and now you have Adrian Adams and Brittany Floyd heading there as well. You guys have won both coaching staffs of the year awards, if I'm not mistaken, from the American Conference meets. So how has it been? What is the impact he's had on this coaching staff this season?
He's definitely done what I hoped he would do coming in. Sometimes it's very hard to find a coach that can coach as many events as he does. He basically coaches all the field events, so that's the throwing, the jumping, everything. And if we had a vaulter, he would coach that too. But and he's very good at what he does, so he's doing his job. So his impact has been great. But my whole staff brings things to the table, and I know we wouldn't be as successful without all of them.
So while you will have a group of 7 athletes heading to Eugene, comprising of the individual athletes, the 4x100 relay team, you also had several athletes who had high marks but might not be going to Eugene. Charlotte Crook, of course, set the new school record for the 1500 meter just by falling just short. And Latasha Smith has had a good season despite not starting in the 400 meters. Are you able to give an update on Latasha, and then just about the impact both Charlotte and Latasha have had on this team this season?
Yeah, Charlotte's had a phenomenal season. She's set several records this year, and she's definitely progressed in the right manner. Obviously, the East preliminary rounds is a little bit deeper than it might have been in the West. She probably would have made the next round at least in the West, looking at the results. But she's done a great job, and she's developed. She's come a long way since her freshman year, and those are the things that you want for your athletes. So that's been great. Latasha Smith had a breakout year this year. She finally is doing all the things that you believe that she could do. It's just unfortunate that leading up to the NCAA preliminary rounds that my 400 group took ill, and it wasn't even COVID or anything. We had some pneumonia, mono, bronchitis, all of those things happened within 48 hours of leaving. So we didn't get to run our 4x4, which I believe would have made it, and also into our 3 individuals that made it in the 400 group. So we're still not going as a fully loaded team that I think we're capable of going, but those young ladies and with Latasha leading the way have done a great job this season.
Well, your full group did set an American Athletic Conference meet record. You managed to take both in-conference meets for the first time since 2013. So talk about what that means for you guys for this program.
Well, when you take over a program and you start talking about winning, and you have a team that doesn't quite know what that means, it takes time to build a culture, and that's what this has come to. It's been a culmination of just slowly plugging away and getting better and learning how to compete, and learning the outdoor championship was probably a little bit more challenging than the indoor championship, because if you listen to the broadcast indoors, we were the underdog. We weren't even mentioned in the team title. Now, we knew on paper, we knew that we were going to be in the battle for the title, that we're going to be one of the top 2, so we went in there as the underdog and just had fun with it. But outdoor is a little bit different when the expectation is there. So we had some little falters here and there, but the team bounced back and they handled the business. So that showed me that they're starting to learn to understand what it takes, because it's hard to be on top and then stay on top, so because everybody, now you have a target on your back.
Very true. So Renaya Jones making her way back to Eugene. Obviously, she made the mark there last season. So what do you think we could see out of her at Eugene this time around? I don't have any expectations. What I want to see Renaya do is just trust herself, and get out there and compete to the best of her ability. I think that's one of her gifts, is her ability to compete and rise to the occasion, especially at the seems to be the higher level that she competes at. She gets better and better. So that's the hope and the expectation. I hope that for all of the young ladies competing this weekend. And then you're bringing the 4x100 relay team with you for the first time. So what are you working through with them as you prepare them for Eugene, and what made you decide on this specific layout for them? Because obviously I think I've seen a couple different ones.
Well, first this is our second time going to the NCAA meet since I've been here. We went my first year here to the championship in Austin, and I believe we finished 14th. And so, and then we ran into a COVID year and couldn't compete. And then last year was just a struggle coming off of the COVID year, not having an outdoor season, and just and not having a full indoor season. So we're back to our top of our stride here, and that's part of my job as a coach, is to figure out what combination is going to be the right combination. So you try all different legs, you make sure everyone can give a stick and take a stick, and then you just try different combinations. I've had Asia on first, and then I moved her to anchor, and but my 2 middle people have always stayed the same because they've been passing that stick to each other for a long time. So it works, the timing's perfect, so why mess with it? So it's just been a matter of just trying different anchor legs and different first legs and stuff. But I knew ultimately I was going to put Renaya back on first leg once the season settled down, because she has a great start, and hurdlers typically do really well running on a curve, so it just made sense.
And then my last question for you is, you have a very unique group. You have kids that have been to Eugene,
Yeah. Yes.
You have been kids that have been, Sierra and Beyonce were both on that 4x1 in 2019. They didn't go to Eugene, they went to Austin. You also have Adrian and Asia who haven't been.
Correct.
What's your message to them going to Eugene this week?
Treat it just like any other meet. That's what we have to do. The preparation is the same. And the message is very clear. I told that relay we need to be in the finals. And then if we make the finals, we can't be ninth because we got to put some points on the board. So that's the expectation. We're not trying to go in there. We're not going to make it bigger than what it is and get overwhelmed. We just need to do what we did to get there. And if we do that, we'll be successful. And then that's the big thing that everyone needs to remember is that you don't treat this meet any differently than any other meet. We still warm up the same. The track's still 400 meters. And we just gotta, do what we always do, which is, leave on time and get good sticks.
Thank you.
You're welcome.